Welcome to cohort
1986.
I'm your host, Rodney.
I'm Candace.
And today we do have a very special guest.
Yes,
man.
we do, y'all.
So we were introduced to this guy from some family members of ours who became family.
And you know what? It's even funnier. I don't even think I've told him this, but when we moved to Gastonia, someone came to our house that was doing some work, and they were like, "There's somebody that you need to know in Gastonia." And I was like, "Who?" I was like, "Who I need to know down here in Gastonia?"
It was Tarik. Tarik Cranke.
It was Tarik.
We have Tarik Cranke today from Cranke Marketing Agency.
Yeah.
He's become like a close personal friend at this point, man. Look, we couldn't shake him. We always crossing paths with Tarik, man.
Right.
So look, everybody, from the beginning. So we're gonna bring on Tarik.
Yeah.
Everybody, give a round of applause to Tarik.
A round of applause.
Round of applause.
Yes. Welcome.
Hey, hello.
How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good, man. Let me get like that.
So you sit up a little bit.
Get locked in.
Well, I'm glad to be doing this. Y'all taking me out of my comfort zone, like I said, I did. You got one of you a couple weeks ago. But yeah, glad to be here.
Gotcha.
Super excited for you to be here.
So before we officially get started, Candace has this little thing she likes to do called rapid fire.
Yeah, I feel like I should brand it. Maybe it should be branded like
we should play like a little like before I say it. Dun dun dun.
There we go. There we go. All right, I like that. Just make sure you do it next time.
We got rapid fire. Dun dun dun.
Brought to you by Candace.
Candace, go ahead and hit Tarik with this question.
All right, so Tarik, first question out the gate: what is your favorite place to vacation?
Yeah, it would be the luxurious Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
But to be from where I'm from and to say Myrtle Beach, everybody laughing, but because I don't fly, so but it's Myrtle Beach.
Okay, all right. I like Myrtle Beach.
Hey, look, that's a Carolina staple.
Yeah.
North or South is a staple.
Yeah.
And Asheville.
Oh, I love Asheville. Yeah. Especially this time of year.
Especially in the fall. Oh my gosh, the fall, man. Look, you might have to go there next weekend.
Yeah. That sounds like a plan. So my next question for you, what is your favorite genre of music?
My favorite genre of music would be it'd be jazz.
Okay.
I love jazz.
I love jazz.
First jazz person.
Yeah.
Favorite jazz artist.
Right now would be, this is rapid fire, let me speed up. It would be, you know what? It's Mike Phillips right now because I had a chance to work with his entertainment group and TJ Entertainment, and I'm actually doing some work for him. So
love it.
It's Mike
plug it in.
Right now.
Plug it in.
Yeah, it's Mike Phillips right now.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah, but
awesome.
That's it.
So my last question for you, and we should keep tally on this one. Who likes what, right?
We should.
So last question: pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Okay, all right.
I can take that.
I like it.
Pancakes with the crispy buttery edges, undefeated.
Come on with it.
Yeah,
undefeated.
Okay.
With some warm syrup.
Yes.
Yeah,
undefeated.
And it gets that's when it get to that gloppy, just into just a.
I'm telling you, man. Look, it got a little bit of crispiness, but a little bit. They don't know about that, man. They don't know about that.
Especially them thick ones. I don't like them little thin pancakes. It's like you can't do nothing with those. You break them in half. When I break mine in half, I want to see some,
Look, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say
a little
this.
bit of in there.
I'm sacrificing some sponsorship, but don't give me no McDonald's pancake.
Yeah.
You gotta give me a home. You gotta give me a homemade pancake.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that now. I remember those days. I remember those days driving for a transportation company, and nah, don't do that. I remember that. No.
Got you.
Cool.
So now that we got the rapid fire out of the way, so tell us a little more about yourself. What didn't we cover?
Man, I tell you this, I'm from Gastonia, North Carolina. That's one of the most important things to me. And I say that because I mean, growing up to me, I had celebrities inside of my hometown that I looked up to. Ball players, singers, entertainers, businessmen as well. My dad is definitely my everything. And my dad is the one that gave me my entrepreneurial spirit. But so many people I grew up around that I wanted to make them, I wanted to be like them.
Right.
So it's like, saying that I'm from Gastonia and doing amazing things is what I want to do. That's like I love doing that for my city.
Yeah.
But that's really what I want to tell people. I know it's crazy, but yeah, it's like I'm from Gastonia and you can do amazing things here. Everybody say you gotta leave,
Yeah.
But I don't think so.
I love that, Tarik. I'm from a very small town, Lawrence. Nobody knows where it is. Every time I say I'm from Lawrence, they be like, "Where is that?" I say, "In between Columbia and Greenville."
Right.
And, a little town named Newberry where everybody gets tickets. It's pretty
right.
Right. So I respect that. So I have to ask you. I always ask people, like, what did you want to be when you were growing up?
I wanted to be. You remember Tammy Faye Baker?
Yep.
And them. So this is weird. It ain't weird. It ain't weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be somebody important. Now this is correct. Somebody important to be able to change somebody's day by walking into a room. So I remember watching those kids. The kids that they would be sick, right? And somebody would be like, "We got somebody coming through," and then everybody lights up and they're happy for that time. I was like, I wish that I could. I wish I had that kind of power to be able to go somewhere and make somebody's day amazing, where they can forget about their sickness or whatever it is they're going through.
Wow.
So what, you know what I mean? So like that power to be able to shift a room in sickness like that, it blew my mind. And I knew that I wanted to do entertainment. So I love making people smile, and that's been a journey for me for a long time. It's just making people smile, getting that emotion out of people. That's what I always wanted to do. So the avenue was a lot of things. I played music when I was a kid. My dad had me playing drums.
Wow.
Yeah, acting, talent shows, all of that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got a gift from the Lord, man.
Yeah, because I see that all the time. Like anytime you post something online, I'm like, what Tarik posted today? I was like, I need to go check him out. Like whether I need a laugh or, whether I need inspiration.
Amen.
I've really been taking a look at what you've been doing through Franklin Boulevard Media, and like even what you're doing now in October with Breast Cancer Awareness Month, right? And just like looking at the stories and looking at the dedication that you've put into that, and just helping people, right? So you have definitely fulfilled your goal of being someone who makes people smile, being that person who is changing the world, and being that person who's having an impact on the world. So if those were on your list, check them off. Check them off.
Well, I got a lot. I ate some popcorn. I'm on my get right plan. So a little popcorn there. But what I was gonna say was I got so many things that I want to do. I mean, and I'm operating timid. So the things that I'm doing now, I'm being standoffish. This world that I'm in now, with talking to y'all, this is about to get crazy. Right. Or when we talked that time, and when I had to talk there, going against that fear. I talked in front of some kids, 2 or 3. That I don't do that,
right?
Because let me say this, because I'm being me right now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
When I'm doing something or posting something, to be honest, and I'm portraying I'm in character almost.
Right.
I hope you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
When somebody's performing or somebody's at work, they're in character. They don't like that like at home. You know what I mean? But like having a general regular conversation in front of someone, it freaks me out. But yeah, that's where we're about to go with this right here and the resources I have. It's gonna get crazy, man. Some people.
I'm gonna be transparent. I'm be transparent right now. I'm the same way. Like I am like. I always had friends and been cool with people, but I've never been a talker.
Yeah.
And so just kind of just doing this podcast, it just kind of helped me just kind of expand my boundaries and just push me out of my comfort zone. Just even with Candace's help, like I've been like hitting conferences, working on my pitches and stuff like that, and just to kind of see the growth that I have once I made that commitment. I'm just happy for you. What you're gonna do next, because I already see that you made the commitment to pivot and do something different.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it's such a blessing that you had the thought to even do that. Because a lot of people are fine in their comfort zone.
Yeah,
they're living fine. They're okay. They don't need to see the need to stretch and grow. But you see that need, and you see that you're destined for greater.
Yeah, and I guess just to add to this little trio we got going on, I'm the first person to say I'm not your girl for public speaking.
Really?
What a cap at? I'm gonna call cap on this one.
I am not. So I mean, but with that being said, I had to come to the conclusion that in order for me to get to that next level is that I'm going to have to get out of my own way. And so, I mean, I think this is very important for anybody who's listening to us right now. We're talking about 3 different people, 3 different paths, 3 different careers, 3 different industries, right? And we're talking about how that imposter syndrome shows up, right? That imposter syndrome is real. And I just want everyone out there to know that it's okay.
I don't know what that means.
So essentially what imposter syndrome is that it's the feeling like you don't belong or the feeling like you can't do something.
Oh my God.
That stands in our way.
Let me write that down. I was like, let me start writing some stuff down.
Listen, you ain't got nothing to write down over there. You the man.
the little elder of the church about to keep going. Now.
Right.
The person that don't like public speaking about to go on.
Right.
I'm gonna let y'all have that one. Today is about talking about Tarik and talking about Tarik's career. So
Tarik, I want to just kind of.
I'm gonna let you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but you afraid of public speaking?
Yeah, you're right.
About to go on, about to run, about to run all sins. Okay, I see. Right. So I just want to take a step back. So so right after school, before Cranke Marketing Agency, before Franklin Boulevard Media, what did you do? Like, could you kind of just chronicle your journey to where you are now?
Yeah. Okay, so high school. After high school, I graduated in 3 months, and I was back home with my degree in drinking from St. Aug. But yeah, school St. Aug was amazing, man. I loved it. But the whole time, man, I was wanting to be creative in another space. I don't like books, man. I mean, it's just not me. And I have challenges. I learned this later on. I have challenges with reading and comprehension. Now it's not, and maybe I should have gotten some help back then, but I never said, I never said anything truly. I just skated through. I negotiated my grade to graduate, Miss Griffin. Talked to her a little while and got the grade. Just, you know what I'm saying? No, I promise you, that's exactly how I graduated, Miss Griffin. And going to St. Aug, coming back home, and I wanted to play in a band. I had played drums and stuff in church a little bit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I went to Greensboro and played drums there for a little while. Came back, and that's when I went to Chatty School of Communications.
Okay.
And that was perfect because that was immediately into the business. No English, no math. It was straight up. When we went to school, it was in the studio.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that was my thing. So so I'm there, and one day we have a guy that comes in named Sean Wheeler. He was a coach for a hockey team that was in Charlotte. He comes in and says, anybody that's interested in being a intern, come to the station. This is V101.9 station. Y'all might know 98, all that. It's Infinity Broadcasting. This is CBS Radio. I go, like freaking out. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to show out. If they let me get on air or anything, I'm gonna flip in. So I get there. I become the intern for a talk show the first week I was there.
Wow.
I became the intern there, and then something happened where they needed an intro. And they said, we got to find an intro, whatever it may be. I heard that, went home, I made the intro with what was available, and came back to work, played it for him. Sean Wheeler, Ray Farmer, and Ethan Horton. Ethan played for the Raiders and Carolina, and Ray that was my show, the Players Club. So I came in, and my program director gave me I gave the program director the song, and they were like, "You did this." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did it." You know what I mean? I'm like, "I did it." You know. Then he takes me to the producer, the actual production head in our at our radio station. Said, "Look what Crank did," and the guy's like, "You really?" You know, they kept. I'm like, "Man, this is every day." You know what I mean? On the spot. Then they hired me as the executive producer for I don't know why they call it executive either, but they call me the executive producer for Players Club.
Wow.
After I think 2 or 3 weeks, I became a paid producer for CBS Radio, and I was 20, 22, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I left that college I was in, Chatty's. But she told me, she like, you got the job. She basically like, if you stay, you just pay your tuition and keep working, you'll graduate basically. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was that. And then I think I left there, and when I came back home, I doing odd jobs here and there, doing some music and stuff. And I gotta say this, is a good buddy of mine that passed away. His name is Boney B. So when I was at the radio station, I was still producing music, producing beats and stuff. And I had got good to where people would start listening to my music.
Right.
Well, Boney came to the radio station and was at Power 98. We were all in the same rap group. I was the person that did the beats. He was the DJ, and my best friend Cranston was the one that's the rapper. I'll tell you something about Cranston as well. And so when Boney would DJ, or whenever Boney would I'm off the radio now after this, so I think I had that job for about 2 years. So every day at 12 o'clock, Boney would say VKC and say my name every day. This is back when radio was radio. You know what I mean? When radio had that
radio about it really mattered.
Yeah. So you think about general public of your name being said every day on the radio.
Right.
There's some form of illusion there. You know, you don't know. I mean, they didn't know I ain't had no job. I mean, you get what I'm saying? I was just an artist though, but you know, he would be saying VKC, shout out to my man Tarik, cranking the VKC we get every day. Wow. And my brand started building up because of that. Wow. I was doing producing as well. So that's when Boney would start, when artists would come in, they would want to wow him about doing records. Boney put me in front of Jim John. There's not one artist that I didn't get in front of. There's a
Wow.
song. There's a song. I'll send it to you. I was working. This is when my wife, now then girlfriend, was pregnant, and I was working at a group home. Boney called me. He's like, "Yo, I gotta let you hear something." I gotta let you hear something. He plays it, and he's got Common rapping on one of my beats. I was gonna quit my job. I was gonna quit my job right there. That's, you know, one of them. I'm about to quit my job. I don't need this job. Like, but those are the things that he did. I mean, that were amazing for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
They catapulted me, and I'm telling, like I said, I'm in marketing and advertising, so I understood the power of illusion. I understood the power of branding that name. I understood the power of all that stuff. So I knew what was going on, but I knew I did not have anything tangible. So we made an album, and we had some tangible things there. And yeah, but that's how I got into that part. And then when my baby was born, time went on, struggled like crazy because I was just an artist, struggled like crazy, and it was tough, you know, just trying to figure my way out. After a while, that talented, cool dude from high school turned into like, you know, it's time to go to work, or you gonna have to. It ain't cute. It don't get cute no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? It ain't get cute no more. And I was over my cousin Shannon's house, and Shannon said this, and obviously this is the Reader's Digest version of the story, but I was living with her, and Shannon said, you know, you'd be good at selling cars. And I'm like, man, you know, the rumor about cars, long hours, you know, they thieves, all that stuff. I'm like, man, I'm scared. I don't want, no. But I had worked at Pep Boys before, so I said to myself, I didn't know what I was going to do, y'all. I was just trying to figure. I knew I wanted to make $100,000 a year. You know, all the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, forget. I'm going down to the dealership to go be a service advisor. So I go down there, and luckily he was at work. He was supposed to be off work. A guy named Mike Kim. I walked in, tell me where's the service department at? Said this way. He said, hey man, I don't know what made him say it, but thank God. He said, you look like you might be able to sell cars. And I'm like, man, I've heard it before, but I don't know. Now, I'm thinking about having to learn stuff.
Right.
Math, that's taking me into that world where I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? I can freelance and get, but don't be, you know, that's what used to kind of scare me.
Right.
But he says, nah, let's try it. He was like, don't even go over there. Fill out the application, whatever. Long story short, that turned into me breaking the store record the first month.
Wow.
10 cars without talking to anybody. Next month, I was the salesman of the dealership.
Wow.
And I became the number one. My first year, I became the number one car salesman in Gastonia.
Wow.
Number one there. And broke a couple records. Sold 36 cars in 1 month. Crazy stuff. So the significance.
One second. I'm gonna say this.
Sorry about that.
36.
I see a theme here of Tarik pushing boundaries and being successful, but you can continue. Just kind of foreshadow.
You trying to make somebody cry? I've been crying a lot, but yeah, that 36 was so important. And I'm glad you did say it, bro, because that 36 was so important. The store was selling 112 cars, and I sold 36 of them. Just typical example. I always sold 10 cars and around 15 because my manager, Mike, said to me, he said, you keep your job, you sell about 10, you sell 10 cars a month, 15 cars a month, you'll keep your job.
Right.
In my mind, I was like, oh, okay. So I literally was like, keep my job, I got to sell 10. Keep my job, I got to sell 15. And that's what I would do. That month that I sold 36, he said to me, I said, yeah, what did I say? He said, you're tracking 30 cars, Crank. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, you know, I'm as long as I get that 10, 15. He's like, no, I was like, that's just to keep your job. He's like, you can go further than that. I promise you, that's really what was in my mind. I had sold, oh my God, it was crazy. And I just turned loose once he said that. I would sell so many cars. So 20 cars is an average for that's a good guy. That's a good car salesman. 20 cars. I would sell so many cars. It was so cool that I would wait and hold people for the next month so that I could relax. So say for instance, I got 20 cars already out, right? So I'll go to my management joking around with them and stuff, and they'll be like, come on, Crank, we need some more, because we want to hit a store number, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I'll be like, nah, I'm good. I got 5 in the kitty. And I got people waiting. I'm like, you buy your car on the first, not now. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just got easy, man. And well, let me go into to how this happened. So I'm doing that, and then started doing the commercial with the dealership. And a guy named Randolph Scott made me a general. I mean, he was the general sales manager at Gasoline Nissan, and he made me an internet sales manager. Well, as being an internet sales manager, now I'm looking at all advertising money, and I'm looking at I'm also looking at vendors that are coming in to sell us opportunities to do business.
Yeah.
When I told you that I sold those 36 cars, they were not from the dealership. They were all just me walking into the dealership. I didn't use none of their resources.
Wow.
So that was one of the cool things. So one time I was at work and I saw this guy come in. I think it was Auto Trade. He came in. Hey, Crank, how you doing? Da da da. And talks to me, and then he dips out. He just came one time for the month. I think he comes every 2 months. Looked at the bill. The bill was like $1,200, $1,500. He was just checking on it. All he did was create a website, and I'm like, and he get paid. You know what I mean? I start thinking. So I'm doing pictures and videos with every car that's sold. And somehow some time went on with me, and Randolph went somewhere and went back, and I ended up back at Gastonia, and Randolph went to was in the Orangeburg Nissan. And Randolph says, Crank, come down here and do what you do at Gastonia for me. So I did it. Randolph paid me, I think it was just old school numbers. Randolph paid me like $1,000. And I worked maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes for the month. And that's when the sirens came on. I was like, wait a minute. You know, I do 10 of these, and now I'm thinking, that number has changed drastically now. But
yeah, like, y'all can't get that. Y'all can't get that rate no more.
Oh, Lord, no.
Forget it.
But I'm like,
what that Joe say? Yesterday's price, not today's price.
Yeah. That was my homeboy. So yeah, but now, I mean, it just made me say to myself, and then in December 2019, December around that time, some other things happened there, but I did tell my wife, and I said, I'm going full sale. Let's go. And here's the part, like what you said, fam. You asked me about the camera. So everything that I was doing was on my cell phone. Wow. My first client. Now I walked out of the dealership with a cell phone. I was averaging 10 grand a month selling cars. That's just, I mean, I gotta say numbers because that's what it's all. I mean, let's don't get into it. It's about numbers. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I walked away from that kind of money. For me, that's a lot. You know, that was good. I walked away from that job. I ain't had nothing with my cell phone, no recording equipment, none of this stuff. So I go to my first client, that first opportunity. The guy says to me, Crank, we like what you do. We seen what you do. We love it. We're gonna put you on. You know, let's go. You're gonna be our guy. I can say this now. I charge roughly right around $3,500 to $4,000 for me to do each dealership. He had two dealerships. He said, all right, Crank, let's go, man. Let me know when you can come out here and shoot the video. You know what I mean? And I was like this. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready. And he was like, he said, what you don't have to get your camera equipment. I said, no. I said, I use my phone. I promise you. He said this. He said, Crank. He said, look, man, I love you. You good and all that stuff. He said, but if a man gonna write a check for $8,000, you better bring a damn camera in here.
Yeah.
And after that, I went and bought a camera, and I used my phone for probably a month and a half, 2 months, because I didn't know how to work the camera.
Wow.
So I only had the camera, I only had the bag with the camera in there, just so it looked like I had it. I promise you. I was literally walking in dealerships with the camera, like, let's talk to the boss, the big guys, and then I get out there on the yard, my phone. But yeah, that's how all of this started. Long story short, but yeah.
But that's just remarkable. Like, you always like when you hear about people starting businesses, you're like, oh, I've invested 5, 10, whatever thousands of dollars into it. But I mean, I just hope that someone caught what you said, that, you just started with your phone. Right.
Yes.
You started with a goal in mind.
Right.
You started with what was available. Right. So even the story where you were talking about working in the studio, how you went home, used what you had at the house and brought it back in, and that quality was there.
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
And another thing that stuck out to me is that while you were figuring it out, you took opportunities that were presented to you, and you just kind of acted on certain things. Like, I just want people to notice, like, what you may do in the future may not just pop out the sky. You have to do your job and do your best at your job. Be your best every day. Yeah. And opportunities will come to you once you're at your best.
And bring your best, right? Like, ain't nobody told you to go home and make that. You decided that, hey, I'm going to challenge myself, right? And don't be afraid to challenge yourself.
I'm going to say, don't be afraid to fail. Like, a lot of look, every venture is not a success. And you may learn a valuable lesson within that failure that will set you up for your next success. Yeah. So just keep that in mind, people.
Yeah.
That's strong right there. I prayed every day, man, for God to bring music back to me, because I was I was so close in it back then, and I walked away from when I got into and working, and I just creative was all gone. I prayed like, Lord, please put music back in my life. You know what I mean? Put it back in my life, and I can't explain to y'all how insane it's insanity of how crazy God works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of PJ Morton. Right?
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of PJ Morton.
That's me too. Look.
Big fan, right?
Look, man. Look.
Love him.
He was here a month ago, and I was calling everybody in the books, and I was just so sad because I didn't know he was coming. And she happened to call the ticket office. I got the last 2 tickets. Man, I was just like, I was in that concert.
I'm gonna tell this as quick as possible, but I got to let you know how God works. I got to do it as fast as possible. That dealership that I was talking about, the North Nissan in Orangeburg, right? That gentleman he owns a couple dealerships. My buddy left that dealership, and I left with him. My loyalty. I'm like, man, I'm out. He out. Peace. My man called me and say, Crank, no, we want to do business with you. We're going to keep you on. That normally doesn't happen when the manager, you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, that's okay. Amen. Let's go. We start rocking. Now, the whole time, you remember I was saying, praying for the Lord to give me, I got my band, we rocking, we doing our thing. I'm trying to do my band and everything. We're talking and everything. We negotiate the numbers.
Right.
He's like, yeah, man, I somehow got on music or something. He's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, yeah, my wife managed him. And I was like, huh, what? Like, what'd you say? My wife is PJ Morton manager. I say, oh, all right.
Say less.
I called him back. I said, man, I thank you so much that you didn't tell me that your wife was PJ Morton manager, because my number would have been way lower. You understand what I'm saying? He could have threw me up, man. Liz, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So not that I'm gonna meet him, or not that whatever may be, but I mean, and then eventually I did a video with her, and she's calling him FaceTime. And I'm like, don't do it. Please don't freak me out. I'm trying to down here be professional with you.
Don't let me geek out.
Yeah, don't let me do that. Don't let me leave here be a little baby. But now I'm just saying, like, I just can't believe he did it. Like, I can't. I'm like, come on, God, are you serious? Put me right back into the world of, of what I'm doing. And I can say it now. And I'm working on trying to do another album the way I wanted to do it. So
awesome. That's awesome.
I'm excited.
So let me ask you a question. So, what services fully does Cranke Marketing Agency offer?
Oh, thanks. Okay. It is truthfully social media advertising.
Okay.
Truly social media advertising. The video content I've gotten better, but the video content and just overall anything in advertising. I can talk about other things like print and stuff like that. I can talk about it.
Okay.
But this mindset of marketing, overall, that's what I do. But number one thing is social media advertising.
Okay. And so what's important, like, what would be like a tip for someone who's, getting started online, they got their Facebook page running, like what would be like a tip for someone?
Just starting, I would say work on the product that you have. Let me say that. Make sure you got a good product before you put it out there to the world. That's what I would say do. Make sure you got a good product before you put it out in the world. Once you know what you've got, then I would say you want to reach out, test the waters, make sure you're good to go. Kind of like what's that thing in Kitchen Impossible, all the places, and then they do that stress test.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you bring a lot of people to the cookout and you don't even know how to cook for that many people. And take that for everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
So that's what I would say, because social media moves fast.
Yeah.
You can get in front of somebody you wasn't supposed. Gary Vee said this. He said, "I don't give a damn." Sorry for cussing. I don't care about how many followers you have, but the right person. If I follow, he was talking about Gary Vee. He said, "If I like you, I'll change your life." I was like, "Yeah, almighty, he right." You know what I mean? It's
right.
I'm not somebody big, or you know what I mean. But if I see a kid that posts something, his mama post a video of him doing some video work. I've done this already. I'm like, who is that? He do that often? Put him on. I'll pay him $100 to edit video. Done. Wow. He don't have thousands of followers. He don't have nothing. His mama just posted a video.
Yeah.
So that's when, make sure your product is good. As much as you possibly can, be prepared to take these opportunities. And then when it's time, then you call somebody like me or to start amplifying your business.
I like that.
I like that. So let me ask you a question. So why is Franklin Boulevard Media so important to you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna just add this. Like,
okay,
you being a Gastonia native, I know the stigmas, the jokes.
My man.
So I know that kind of feeds into it, but can you just kind of explain why that is such an important endeavor for you?
That's right. So Franklin Boulevard Media started because all the time, like you said, Gas House, we repping and stuff, but it would always get this bad rap of all kind. I mean, on the news, this would happen when we were younger. There was one guy that would be on the news. It was a newscaster that would make jokes. Radio guys that would make jokes. Like, it was ongoing that a joke when you say you're from Gastonia around here in North Carolina. Cool, we take that. That's easy work. But then when the internet came around, if you do it right now, it's changing a little bit. But if you put Gastonia inside of YouTube, it's this woman going around in circles at an intersection. Silly, you know what I mean? These people going into this and fighting in this, not fighting, but just tearing up this corner store. Obviously, the stuff that happened with a local ice cream shop here. Okay. Obviously the bad stuff, right? The bad stuff.
Yeah.
That's what Franklin Boulevard is about. Putting content out there about amazing people in our community. That's what it's about. And being able to go into those houses with those kids that are somebody that's like me, that
Yeah.
may have not had the resources to be able to see me in their own home, because everybody got a phone. You see a kid that's want to be a musician. I got a guy that I did video about named Devin Bryce. Devin Bryce has played with all these celebrities around this nation. Send him that video. He's from Gaston. He's from where you're from, and he made these changes, and he's doing his thing. He talks about his ups and downs. Talks about, and that's what it's about. We talked to a guy that became Mr. I think Hollywood, Mr. USA, something like that. Hollywood became a professional bodybuilder.
Wow.
Ricky Rainey, fighting in Thailand and from Gaston. I mean, all these, it's tons of them on there. People doing amazing things, and that's what it's about. You know what I mean? That's what it was for, is to put in that algorithm that we look at about positive people in our community doing good stuff. In a way, you know, other places too.
I love that. I really love that. And, you know, just having that impact. You know, this is why we do Cohort 1986, because we're committed to spreading knowledge, inspiration, and perspective. And just to give people, you know, another form of learning, right? So many times we stay away from things because we don't know, or, you know, we're misinformed because, or, you know, we just don't know because nobody told us, or that we're not associated with the person who knows. So, you know, that's why this is so special to me. I know you mentioned about just kind of going into schools and talking, like, why is like mentorship important to you? And like, why is it important for you to give that kid a chance that you saw where his mom posted something? Like, why is that important to you?
I mean, it goes back. I just think about, I'm grateful for the opportunities I had. Very grateful for the opportunities I have now. And also, as I got older, I think about some of the conversations I wish some guys would have gave me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the part. It's like, you know, it's like, yeah, my daddy can tell me all that stuff, but there's some uncles and stuff should have been saying some other things.
Yeah.
There's some aunts that should have been saying some things and being transparent. You know what I mean? There should have been more aggressive. Some people should have been way more aggressive on telling you what's a good life, what really is a good life. Like, you know what I mean? Like knowing, instead of this big illusion of what it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? A good job or whatever. I mean, give me some meat and potatoes. No, rent, car, insurance. Like, oh, this is a good life. Go to that job right there for invest this kind of money. This is what you'll have. You know what I mean? This meat that I wish that we had, and that's what I want to do.
The transparency and being more intentional about what's going on in life and what you're going to face.
I tell every ball player that's in my world, high school, I tell them every time, I say, please do this for me. I want you to go to the stadium before the game starts, and I want you to look around, and I want you to be in the moment. I want you to sit there and really nurture that you are in high school playing a sport, and I want you to leave every last bit of it on the table, because I know that you believe that there's a lot going to happen after. Majority of us going to end up having a beer talking about these moments, and they're going to sound like they were yesterday. For 40, 50 years, you're going to talk about right now for 40. It's going to be your identity. Am I right about that? I know dudes right now that ain't got a dime. They walk into a place. I'll be like, boy, that boy right there, bad boy. Like, be like, he the man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, it's so. But I just don't want him to just walk, just slide right through it. You know what I mean? I'm telling my daughter, it's her senior year. I'm like, chill out and just look around. You're running through it. You know,
soak it in, because it doesn't come back.
Wow, this is the rewind this back. Rewind it back. Y'all, if y'all ain't listening to nothing else, like that is just so important, right? Like, you know, we had our whole anniversary gala this weekend, and it was just like,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And it was just like, you know, this moment, and it was like capturing the moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody got pictures. I've been asking people like, what are pictures? Y'all got pictures? Y'all got pictures? We ain't got no
We
pictures.
ain't got a lot of
The
pictures.
only people who have pictures
It's the
are the photographer
and the videographer.
and the videographer.
Amen.
And I can say that moment will live with me forever because I soaked it in.
Yeah.
I came in. I'm like, okay, this is one night. I'm gonna enjoy this night. I didn't even take no video on my phone. I took pictures while we eating, and I took pictures before, but I want to soak everything in.
That's dope, bro.
And that's how life is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many times we just moving here, we going here, we thinking about what's next, we thinking about what we got to do next, we thinking about what we got to do next year. But it's like we forget about the moments that are happening.
Listen,
we forget about taking in those moments. We forget about thinking, right? It's like we're just so hyper focused on other things that I can't even enjoy having my apple tea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't enjoy that. This was like one of the best meals I've had this week.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just want to encourage somebody, like, you know, even though things may be going or may not be going how you want them to go, just take that time to be in the moment, to be present with the people that you love, to spend that time with people that you love, to make that time for your self-care. And Tarik, I feel like it's something else you want to say. So what else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I got to say this right quick. So this week, just been rolling. Like we talked about when you hit me up today, I was editing all the way up and I'm like, oh snap. I was like, I got to do this with y'all. I was under so much anxiety, stressed out. How am I gonna get this done and how am I gonna get that done? I'm like, and something hit me. The conversations I've been having with those women. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? I mean, I was in the car literally like, you don't have no bad news. You are not stressed. Call the client, tell them it'll be another day. Go to the gym and regroup.
Yeah.
Call your wife, tell them to come pick them up. Sit in the pocket, don't scroll, and do your editing. I mean, imagine how many of those women say, I don't want cancer. Like, what was I thinking about? I know that, you know what I mean, you know, your burden is your burden, whatever it may be, but I had to go back to them women.
Right.
Getting that kind of, I'm like, what am I tripping about? Priorities, like you said, you know what I mean? I sat down with my grandma today. I haven't been in the house and talked to my grandma the way I talked to my grandma today in probably 15 years.
Wow.
I slowed down.
Yeah.
I said, nah, I'm going over there, sit down and sit in the pocket and just look at her and talk. And I did it. Calm my tail down. You know what I mean? So you're right about that. Be in the moment. Pay attention, man. We ain't planning. I mean, come on. Like it's not work. Sit down and chill out. You know what I mean? Chill. You know, all that anxiety you get and all that stuff. I mean, people got some serious stuff going on today.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that's just what I was saying when I heard that. I was like, man, I was all wound up today.
Yeah.
You know?
So I do have to ask you, I always like to ask people, you know, like, what is a piece of advice that you would give to anyone who's out here listening to us talk today, who has, you know, listened to your story? What's the piece of advice that you would like to share and leave people with?
Yeah, my advice would be go do it now. Don't be waiting around. I want to start a restaurant. Let me tell you something. I hadn't started cooking yet. Well, go cook so they'll know. I might be an investor already ready to go build. You know what I mean? Right. Wow. I want to make movies. I want to do show me movies. Show me a skit. Wait, I don't make the skits. Like there's somebody, like all you got to do, I promise you, all you got to do is do it, and somebody gonna come get it. That's what people are. They're investors. there are investors out there. That's all they want to do. Right now, I'm looking for people to help me with editing. I'm right now basically looking for somebody right now. So I mean, do it, and I'm definitely a guy that every time I'm throwing parties and doing any events and things like that, I put the content out there before I've got the place booked or one thing sold, anything. It forces me to have to go do it. I did a music festival in Gastonia. We did 3,000 people downtown.
Wow.
I posted it. It was in 2012. I posted the video. I posted I posted it and made a flyer. I ain't had no license. I didn't have no permit. I didn't have no money. Nothing at all. All I knew was like, I'm about to have this festival. I made a flyer, yo. Hey, man, I'm gonna send it to y'all. I made a flyer and had the month and the year, and it did not exist. I had no backing. I had
the flyer held you accountable.
Yeah, and that flyer also made the Gaston Arts Council pay for the entire thing.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying about doing it? Just do it. Somebody gonna come. That's what all this stuff is about. It ain't rocket science. Just do it. Somebody gonna come.
I love it.
So before we close out, we always do this. Is there a quote that you want to leave us with?
Man, I don't read.
Or just like a small saying.
Or something that you say to yourself.
Oh my God. The number one quote, the quote of them all, the best quote on earth, coined by my homeboy Taz Infinite.
Taz.
Yeah, Taz, it's one of the synonyms. It's synonym word for letters. What do you call that? What do you call that when it's abbreviation? What do you call that?
Acronym?
No, when all right, so say something is called BCB. What are those words? What do you call that?
Oh,
I don't know what you call it now. Yeah. I'm glad this is rapid fire.
He done flipped it on us, y'all. He done flipped abbreviation.
Well, yeah. So there's numerous abbreviations for VKC, but the number one that stuck with me the most and with us is Victory Keeps Coming.
Wow.
So, and that was like he said that at his career, we was like, oh my God, Victory Keeps Coming. So that's one of our slogans. I mean, it's a couple other names for VKC, but yeah, Victory Keeps Coming is something I love saying. That's coined by my homeboy Taz.
Wow.
Taz Infant. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. I love that.
No matter what, Victory keeps coming.
I love that. So, Rodney, where can people find us? Oh, well, first, Tarik, where can people find you? Like, how can people hit you up and get your services?
Yep, all social media platforms, Google. It should pop up Tarik Crank. You'll see Cranke Marketing Agency, Franklin Boulevard Media, and VKC Productions. I don't know when this is going to air, but we're doing the event at a venue in town. I'll tell you what, I'm a marketing guy. I should know this. Check the website for our most recent events. You saw what I did. I did not I didn't put a time stamp on.
No, good.
That's a little something for people.
Go. Yeah. So, Rodney, where can people find us?
You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, IG, LinkedIn, all that Cohort 1986.
LinkedIn.
And then also, if you want to tickle your fancy a little more, you can watch out. You can see our website at www.cohort1986.com.
Yeah.
You're on the go. You want to listen to a podcast, Spotify, iHeart, Apple Podcasts at Cohort 1986.
Yeah, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe
on all platforms.
All platforms, including YouTube, y'all. You know, everybody loves YouTube University, so hit us up there.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and more importantly, thank you, Tarik, for just getting out your comfort zone, being candid with us,
and being transparent.
Transparent, that real.
Y'all mean a lot to us around here. And I can't wait to get jiggy with y'all, do some crazy stuff. Victory keeps coming. And y'all doing it.
Yeah.
Y'all doing it.
Well, guys, everybody, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
And until next time.
Bye, y'all.
Peace out.
Music gonna be playing now.